The last time we spoke about loss, very heavy, I'm sure, on you also. Today we're going to be talking about a little step ahead of that. Walked out of a relationship. Everything is, now everything is very silent. You don't feel the adrenaline, you don't have the pumping, you don't have the oxytocins, you don't have the hormones. Nothing. Darkness. What do you have then? Solitude. Solitude.
But then might have walked off, but the point is you are still in a social setting. So why do you feel that solitude?
Because when you're just out of a relationship, you believe that the relationship that you once had with a person or with a friend or whoever that was used up major part of your world. You were a part of, or rather the relationship was a major part of your life
Okay.
because you invested so much. You invested time, you invested effort, you invested dedication, consistency, everything. You invested everything in that relationship, and now you have come to a place where it doesn't exist.
So it's a kind of a vacuum,
It's a complete vacuum. You don't know what to do with it.
and that sucks you in.
Totally. It zaps your energy. It's like, okay, what am I doing here? But that's exactly the place you should be.
So you think solitude is necessary?
Very much.
Is it?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Because of two things. Importantly. Number one, you need to collect yourself back after what happened. You need to get a grip on yourself. Walking away from something that you once thought was probably a part of your life and which you also thought you would carry for lifelong. Something that you always thought was very permanent. This is something that you know, I'll never part ways with.
But when you say solitude is necessary, isn't it something where you feel alone and that's actually going to complicate things and make you sadder?
That's again the society view of it. I mean, like again, the same difference between am I lonely or am I alone?
Okay, and what's the difference?
Okay. The difference is when I say I'm lonely, there is sort of a sad connotation to it that okay, I am just left out in the cold. Somebody left me in the cold, I was always discarded or rejected. That's lonely. But when you're alone, you are with yourself.
So doesn't translate to being sad.
No. Because you're picking up on your own energies. You are actually in solitude. You are actually helping yourself come back to your authentic self. Because you have a relationship with yourself, which in that solitude you are able to reassess.
But how is the journey like?
Being in solitude,
Yes.
difficult, messy. Being in solitude is not easy. Okay, it requires a lot of inner work. It requires resilience. It requires power. It requires confidence and strength in yourself to be able to reassess and build yourself from scratch.
Once you're alone, it gives you plenty of time to think about not just what went by, but what is it that you're going to do in future. Okay, so is that thinking a kind of solitude?
Yes, absolutely. Because when you're in solitude, you're also rewiring a lot of things. You're coming back from definitions of, okay, what the relationship was, what kind of a relationship do I really want in my next, or whenever I have one, or your meaning of relationships, or how you relate to others, or for that matter, even your understanding of emotions has to and will definitely reassess during that solitude. So it is sort of a rewiring of your entire system.
Can you give me an example where you maybe one of your clients was facing this pressure
Yes.
or
I can. So I do have a case recently that I had. There was one of my clients who walked in. She was on the brink of having a divorce. Not really had one, on the brink of one. Now, whatever she expressed or discussed about, why she got to the level of a divorce was absolutely, I mean, understandable. The way things were, as we also spoke in the last time, that the cracks in the relationship, the connection was already dead. So there was no reason to have carried it forward. The only thing was the litigation or maybe the legal aspects of it were still remaining, which is fine. But that is where in probably the third or the fourth session is where I realized that she happened to have transformed
okay.
because she was facing solitude. She went, it's like hermiting. You go to a place where nobody exists. You're just on your own, you're hermiting. You're just with yourself. And when you're with yourself, is what I mean, she also very rightfully expressed that when I was with myself, I realized, no, I was in the wrong place. I don't deserve to be there. I'm happy to have come out of it.
Okay.
And now I know what I need to do. Even if that means not being in a relationship with anybody for the time being, just being in an authentic relationship with myself.
Obviously, even in this scenario, she would be staying with someone, maybe her parents, or she would be in contact with her colleagues, her friends. So, as a person who is in contact with a person going through something bad, what is it that I need to do so that I don't make it worse for them?